If you work a desk job, this is the part about AI that almost nobody wants to talk about because it hits right at the thing you've been relying on for your whole career. AI isn't just changing tasks, it's quietly changing the value of experience. And the scary part is it doesn't happen overnight. It happens year by year, like a slow leak in a tire. One day you wake up and realize something that used to make you feel safe, years in the industry, knowing the process, being the person people ask, doesn't carry the same weight anymore. In this video, I'm going to explain why AI is making office work experience less valuable every year, what's really being devalued, and the one shift that keeps you valuable even as your years of experience advantage keeps shrinking. And stay with me because near the end, I'll give you a simple way to tell whether your experience is the kind AI is erasing or the kind it can't touch. Here's the uncomfortable truth right up front. For most office jobs, experience used to mean speed, quality, and confidence. The longer you'd been in a role, the less you needed help. You knew the templates, you knew the politics, you knew what the boss really meant, you knew what usually goes wrong and how to prevent it. Experience was basically a shortcut through uncertainty. It wasn't just knowledge, it was judgment built from repetition. AI attacks repetition. That's why it's so disruptive, because a lot of what we call experience in office work is actually pattern recognition. It's knowing which email tone gets the fastest response, it's knowing how to structure a report so it gets approved, it's knowing which numbers matter in a spreadsheet, it's knowing what a manager wants to hear before they ask. Those patterns are exactly what AI learns quickly. And once AI can generate the pattern on demand, the advantage of someone who's seen it 100 times starts to shrink. That doesn't mean experience becomes useless, it means a specific type of experience start losing value, experience that lives inside repeatable workflows. Let me put it in a way that makes it instantly obvious. In the past, a senior employee often looked valuable because they could produce better work faster than a junior. They could write the email in 2 minutes instead of 20, they could turn messy notes into a clean document without thinking, they could build a deck in an hour, they could make things look professional. That was the real value. But now AI can produce the professional version instantly, so the gap closes. And when the gap closes, the company starts asking a question it didn't used to ask. Why are we paying extra for someone the tools can do now? And this is where it becomes dangerous, because it doesn't feel dangerous. You'll be praised, you'll be busy, you'll still be the reliable one, but quietly the experience premium starts getting squeezed. Promotions slow down, pay rises shrink, senior roles get merged, teams get smaller, and instead of needing one senior and two juniors, a company realizes it can get away with one senior and one junior, or even one mid-level with strong AI. And that's why year by year experience becomes less valuable in many office environments, because AI compresses the ladder. When the ladder compresses, fewer people get to move up. Not because they don't deserve it, but because the number of rungs disappears. Now, here's the psychological trap that makes this even worse. Most people respond by doubling down on what made them valuable before. They become even more process perfect, even more efficient, even more consistent. They become the person who always delivers. And that's admirable, but it can be the wrong strategy in an AI workplace. Because if your value is tied to delivering repeatable output, you're competing in the exact area AI improves fastest. And every year, AI gets better at the part of the job that used to take time. Writing gets faster, summarizes get sharper, slides get cleaner, basic analysis gets easier, coordination gets automated. The very things that used to separate juniors from seniors start becoming a feature in a tool. So what does that leave? This is where the real divide appears. AI is making experience less valuable every year if your experience is mostly task-based. But if your experience is outcome-based, context-based, and judgment-based, it can actually become more valuable because AI increases the speed of work, which increases the cost of mistakes. And when mistakes become more expensive, judgment becomes more valuable. So the question isn't does experience still matter, it's what kind of experience are you building? Because there are two kinds of experience in offices. There's experience that comes from doing the same process for years, becoming fast and polished at it, and there's experience that comes from making decisions under uncertainty, dealing with consequences, navigating risk, and understanding what matters when the data isn't clear. AI eats the first kind, it struggles with the second. This is why some people will feel their career getting squeezed even though they're good. Their experience is being converted into a template, into a playbook, into a process, and into something AI can replicate. And once that happens, the company doesn't need your years, it needs your output. and output is cheaper now. And this is why a lot of office workers are going to feel something that's honestly brutal. They'll feel like they're being treated as interchangeable earlier in their career than previous generations. Not because they're less talented, but because the tool reduces the advantage of time served. Now, I said I'd give you a way to tell which side you're on. Ask yourself this: if AI could clone your work style tomorrow, what would be missing? Would it be missing judgment, missing context? Would it be missing your ability to spot risk before it happens? Or would it be missing your ability to influence people and decisions? Or would it mostly be missing time? Because if the only thing separating you is time and repetition, that gap shrinks every year. That's why experience is losing value, not because people are useless, but because repetition is being automated. So what do you do with this? You shift your experience from being a library of templates to being a muscle of judgment. You stop aiming to be the fastest person at producing documents and start aiming to be the person who decides what should be produced, what matters, what's risky, and what's worth doing. This doesn't require you to become technical, it requires you to change how you think about your job. Because every time you solve a messy problem, you're building the kind of experience AI struggles to replicate. You're building judgment under uncertainty, and that's the experience that keeps its value. And here's the closing thought I want to leave with you, because it flips the fear into something useful. The goal isn't to prove you have years of experience, the goal is to prove your experience changes outcomes in ways AI can't reliably do. If you want some clarity, comment down below your specific job role, and I'll let you know how long you've got until AI can fully take over your role, and I'll give you tips on how you can optimize it so you can last as long as possible. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for everything AI and office worker related. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.